Formula One will play host to 3 rookie drivers for the 2023 season. There's Oscar Piastri, fresh off one of the biggest silly season dramas in recent memory, Nyck de Vries, earning a spot after a stellar one-off performance at Monza, and Logan Sargeant, an American joining the sport at a time when F1 is increasingly focusing on fans from the United States. Naturally, all 3 debutantes have great talent, as any driver who earns a spot in F1. But will they also have their own gremlins to deal with if they want to succeed in the dog-eat-dog world of Formula One? So, without further ado, let's take a closer look at the rookies this season, how they compare, and who we believe will perform best. Oscar Piastri. After a year on the sidelines as Alpine's reserve driver, the consecutive Formula Renault Eurocup, Formula 3 and Formula 2 champion ascends to the top tier to partner Lando Norris and form the youngest combined driver lineup on the grid this season at McLaren. Team CEO Zak Brown has previously stated that he expects the young Australian to experience some race rustiness as he adjusts to being back among a full field of cars, but he's already participated in multiple McLaren tests as he prepares for life at his new team, replacing Daniel Ricciardo for the upcoming season. The 21-year-old is now eager to begin his Formula One career, but he admits that good results would be a bonus at this early stage. "It's nice to see the beast alive," Piastri said after McLaren's 2023 Challenger was fired up at their Woking headquarters. "So yeah, all good, and it's getting closer and closer to the start of the year now, so very excited. Hopefully I'll have good results. I don't really know yet, but yeah, I mean for me personally, just try and learn as much as I can, get some good results, then that would be a bonus. But yeah, just go out and enjoy it, enjoy my first race for over a year and have some fun and get stuck in." Now, looking ahead to the season, Piastri is taking a pragmatic approach to his first year in Formula One, stating that he wants to soak up as much knowledge as possible in the first year of his multi-year McLaren contract. However, he believes that learning will naturally produce positive results as a byproduct of the work he does both on and off track. This is a mature approach from the young Australian, and given that he'll be working alongside Norris at McLaren, he'll have plenty of opportunities to learn from one of the most promising drivers on the grid, even if he is not much younger in terms of age. And given his stellar junior record, it's easy to put Piastri at the top of this year's rookie class, but not everything is so clear-cut. Peter Windsor, a respected Formula One observer and former Williams and Ferrari team manager, has warned that the Prema team Piastri raced for has such a good reputation in junior racing that drivers can be made to look above their natural level. Speaking via his Twitch stream, he said, "I suppose we've all got to be excited by Oscar Piastri, only because of what he achieved in Formula 3 and Formula 2. He achieved that with Prema, so you always have to have a slight thing there. Achieved with Prema as distinct from achieved with MP Motorsport or Dams or Carlin, because Prema is so good. If you're the number 1 chosen driver at Prema, it's a good drive to be in." Piastri would be the obvious choice if we were judging the rookies solely on the results they're likely to achieve. The fact that he will be driving a McLaren practically seals the deal. However, if we're comparing relative performance to the teammate and the natural abilities of the car, the Australian is actually at a distinct disadvantage. Lando Norris has already established himself as one of the sport's brightest prospects, and with the McLaren not being the easiest car to extract all of its potential, just ask Daniel Ricciardo, it all paints a much murkier picture. Will he crack under pressure just like his compatriot? Well, the only way to know is to wait and see. Nyck de Vries. This season, de Vries' dream of racing in Formula One will be realised. The Dutchman was signed by Red Bull to race for AlphaTauri. He piqued the interest of Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko and the rest of the paddock too, with his point-scoring one-off appearance in Williams at last year's Italian Grand Prix. This prompted discussions with Marko, with the 79-year-old committing de Vries to a multi-year deal, although he's only confirmed as an AlphaTauri driver for the 2023 season. That means de Vries is under pressure, but he can't let that get to him. Speaking about his strengths on AlphaTauri's podcast, Tauri Talk, the driver admitted that strengths can also be weaknesses, and that's something he has to watch out for. "My commitment, determination, but also my perfectionism is a great asset and a strength, but equally a weakness. When you go too far, you lose focus and you get lost in the detail, and that's when you're unable to focus. Basically, your will is paralyzing your intuition and feeling. Racing is still very much about feeling and intuition, so when you're in your car, your mind has got to be free to drive with feeling. If you're too keen, if you want it too much, you just overdo things, you're overthinking, and that paralyzes your feeling, and that's obviously ruining your performance. But it's a conundrum too, with a 28-year-old saying to be successful, one has to focus on the details. At the same time, focusing too much on the details can work against you. Teaming up with Yuki Tsunoda, Helmut Marko has backed Nyck de Vries in his transition to team leader. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on a driver heading into his first season on the grid, but while de Vries lacks on-track F1 experience, he's got plenty of knowledge behind the scenes and in general racing. After winning the Formula 2 Championship in 2019, he moved on to Formula E, where he won the 2020-21 Championship. He balanced his Formula E racing with F1 commitments for Mercedes, where he spent time in the team's simulator in Brackley. As a result, de Vries cannot be billed as the potential surprise of 2023 because the paddock already has high expectations for the driver, but that cuts both ways. Unlike the other two rookies this season, he can't just hang in there, and at his age, his F1 career could be over before it even started. Logan Sargeant. While de Vries has been in the upper echelons of motorsport for some time due to his racing with Mercedes en route to a Formula E World Championship, and Piastri captured the attention of the world following his 2021 Formula 2 title by engaging in a contract battle with Alpine and McLaren, Sargeant enters his rookie season as a relative unknown. Sargeant's career initially appeared to be on hold due to financial constraints, as he was forced to return to Formula 3 for another season in 2021, this time with the underdog Chirou team. But the American proved a sensation, scoring points in 15 of 21 races, getting podiums, and even securing Chirou's first F3 victory. Sargeant also made his Formula 2 debut for the HWA Race Lab before the season ended, but his stellar results eventually earned him a full-time seat with Carlin in F2 for 2022. Sargeant was mentioned as a possible replacement for the struggling Nicholas Latifi early on in 2022, particularly as he began to shine in the middle of the F2 season, finishing second in the feature race in Baku before winning at Silverstone and the Red Bull Ring. With an F1 super license becoming a possibility due to his strong results, FP1 appearances with Williams in Mexico, the US and Brazil, and having kept his nose clean through the year, it became F1's worst kept secret that Sargeant's F1 fate rested on his finishing position in the championship. Fourth place was enough to secure the required license point weighting, and Williams announced Sargeant as Alex Albon's teammate for 2023 once his super license was confirmed. Sargeant thus follows in the footsteps of Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll in making their F1 debuts with Williams after being a member of the team's driver academy. He's chosen the number 2 as his career number, replacing Stoffel Van Dorn, who last used it in 2018. The young American will have 3 home races to look forward to in the United States in 2023, including one in his home state of Florida as the sport returns to Miami. But he'll face a difficult test this season as he attempts to overcome the experienced Alex Albon in the Williams garage. He discussed what he's been working on over the winter to prepare for the step up to Formula 1 and how he feels prepared for the challenge that lies ahead. I'm doing my best to enjoy every part of this process because I know how much of a challenge this year it's going to be to make the step up in physicality that an F1 car demands, but this is what I've been working towards for years, Sargeant wrote in a pre-season blog on Williams' website. I have to make sure I can be in the best shape possible, and I have huge motivation to work really hard towards that. We can't really gauge much about Logan Sargeant, but on paper, he appears to be the least impressive of the 3 rookies. Nonetheless, given the fact that he'll be racing for Williams, he'll be under the least amount of pressure of the 3, giving him the time he needs to learn, adapt, and overcome the challenges that Formula 1 will throw at him. So, what do you think about this season's rookies? Who do you think will be the most impressive? Please let us know in the comments section down below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified of our next uploads. Check out our other videos on the screen right now as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.